Hey guys, welcome to the You Were Born Rich Mastermind. Now this is a chapter of the Image Maker. Now this chapter is probably my favourite chapter here, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Now this obviously is a recording. Now all you guys actually were unable to make this call, so it'll be a lot quicker than usual. Obviously there'll be not much interaction, which it was designed for, but that's fine. You can still actually find all the information here and learn from everything that I can share with you guys. And this recording will be with you guys, until as much as you want, really. You can look back and go through certain chapters, and I would recommend to have these chapters and review them very often, just to go through in detail, because there are some really, really good stuff in here, stuff that I've learned and stuff that Bob and John have taught for 35 years, and they've learned from the best people around. So I understand everyone leads busy lives. But this is what these videos are here for, just so you guys can catch up and find the information, afterwards. And in the future, moving forward as well, if you feel like you need to go back on some things, then it's fantastic. I mean, I even go back over these slides and these chapters and just listen to them again. And just pick up little things here and there just from the interaction with you guys and learn from them and figure out new ideas. So let's get straight into it. I mean, obviously, what I would have done is going through the Image Maker this week. It is my favourite chapter, and I do think it's essential. Now, not just in this program. I don't think any of these individual chapters are essential on their own, just for the program. I think because the program is designed for anyone to succeed. It's called You Were Born Rich, because everyone can relate to money, and it's all about the wealth we have inside of us. So the same with the Image Maker, it's one of my favourite chapters because it really helps you in every aspect of your life. With your health, wealth, happiness, relationships. And the more you create images of where you want to be and where you want to go in your life, one, I know you guys have noticed this, the clearer the vision you're going to have of where you want to go. And two, you actually know where you're going to go, which is the main thing. A lot of people just, stumbling through life and taking things as it comes and learning from the mistakes and going forward, and then there's not really any direction in this, and a lot of it boils down to the saying by Elle Nightingale, which I'll twist to my own little saying. If you were on a ship that was destined for Tahiti, and there was a captain there, you were all ready to go, you know what time you're going to arrive, and it's leaving from England, it's going to Tahiti. Now, how many times do you think that ship is going to reach Tahiti? Usually around the same sort of time it's actually supposed to be there. Now, I'm going to say 99.99999 times out of, 10,000, because it's obviously going to happen, because, unless there's a hurricane or there's a freak storm weather, which has already been planned for, that ship's going to get there because it knows where it's going. Now, if you get on the same ship, with no destination, no captain at the helm, no one deciding where it's going to go, how many times is it going to reach Tahiti? None. That's how many times. And it's never going to even leave the harbour because the captain's not there. It'll just stumble around in the ocean if it does get out of the harbour at all, with its engine running, just moving through until it runs out of petrol or runs out of life. Now, this is where the Image Maker comes into play, and you'll start to understand this as we move through the chapters of how important these early chapters really are. They are the foundation to all self-development, and I've looked into a lot of self-development, and this is basically the foundation of everything is in these chapters. So they're really good starting blocks, because a lot of these chapters, when we go into the law of vibration, and the later on chapters, these razor edge activities you're going to have, and the law of cause and effect, and some of these laws are quite precise. And they're quite, almost complex in the way you have to explain. If you didn't know any of the information we've got now, they'd almost go over your head. So these initial chapters are you to set yourself up, to open yourself up to the ideas, and to get you on the right frequency to move forward. Now, the last chapter, obviously I'd use this to refresh how much we've learned in the last week, over using how much is enough. Because once we listen to these chapters, and we read the book, and we have this mastermind session once a week, this is what we need to be doing. We need to be watching the chapter and then going over what we've actually learned in the last week and how we can, imply it into our future weeks to come, and what we've learned we can use and move forward. So what I really learned about how much is enough is, how much do I want to earn? literally how much do I want to earn, how much it's going to cost to live that way. So I figured out how much I want to earn by working out what my expenses are going to be. And this is a good way to do your finances. Instead of working out how much you can put away for savings and how much you earn then, and then, you know, what's going to left be over. Nothing like that, because nothing is ever left over. You need to first figure out how much you need to earn before you need to start thinking about how much you're going to save. And, you know, I figured out how much I need to earn, and now I'm working towards that. And I know how much my life is going to cost, and I'm programming my mind to work towards earning a certain amount of money. And when I am earning that amount of money, which I definitely will be, then I'll be happy, and then I can set my goals a lot higher for the next couple of years. You know, instead of being 150,000, which it currently is, it'll be a couple of million. Because that's how the mind works. It just grows and grows and grows, and it's very dependent on your, you know, your state of mind and what you're working towards. Set big goals, achieve big results. You know, so set little goals. You know, I want to earn £10,000 a year. You'll earn it because that's what you're working towards. So the essential thing here is, you know, whether you're earning the specifically amount that you want to earn, and then working towards making that a reality. Because we can all do that. We can all make plans and work towards them. So why not make plans on your wages and how much you're going to earn in that, and how much you want in relationships, and then, you know, what specifically do you want in life, which is what we go through a little bit later on today with all of this. And just a quick recap as well. You know, have we all set up a separate account for our financial freedom account where 10% of our wages will go? Because with this, you know, that's going to set yourself up to have whatever you want to have. If you're saying to yourself, I'm not earning enough money right now, then that's fantastic. You know where you are, you know what you're going to be. However, if you've got yourself your money you saved and you've got your wages going away, as you earn more, this little bit of wages which you set aside, this 10%, is automatically going away and you don't even need to think about it anymore. Does that make sense, guys? Now, this is something for me as well that I actually imply, because we never know what our set accounts are going to be, and the more money I know I get earned as well, the more I can do. And there's a good thing by Tony Robbins, which I read recently in one of his books. I mean, I'm earning a certain amount this month, and I'll put away, I'll figure out how much I need to put my bills, how much I'm going to put in my savings, then I'll have the money I've got left, which you can spend, and now I'll put that into, I'll split it into 4, and that's how much money I can spend in a week. Now, if I start earning another 2,000 a month, or 10,000 a year, or 5,000 a year, that extra money can just go into my savings because I figured out I can survive easily on this amount of money. Whether it's £150 a week, £200 a week, £300 a week on your food bills and rent, and just in your food, because all your bills are already covered. You've taken them out of your monthly wage. So just to be clear, you get your monthly wage, take out all your bills, all your rent, your bus pass, your phone bill, loan bills, mortgage, anything like that, and take it out and see what's left. And with that amount, split it into 4, so your weekly amounts, and take out, obviously take out your 10% of your savings, and then now you've got that money to spend, and I'll take it out in cash. So I'll have, £100 and something in cash in my pocket, and I can spend that over the week. Now I won't spend any more because it's in cash. When I get down to my last 20, I'll realise, okay, I've got £20 left and I won't spend any more. So you never spend too much. If I've got £100 left, it can go into my next week's wages. And that's my, that's a little treat. You go out for a meal, you go away for the weekend, or you do something nice for yourself. Just something for you guys to think about here. Now, did you all set up your debt repayment account? If you have got debts, if you've got loans that you need to pay off, set this up. I know there's a payment scheme that you already set up for yourself, and a lot of it's automatic. But set it up. If you're not paying 20% of your wages into this account, make sure you are. Because then the more you earn, that's just going to be sat there, and you're going to be paying it off and paying it off and paying it off until it's completely gone. And you can avoid this interest that rises, ever presently rising every month and every year. Did you figure out what your future expenses look like? Have you figured out what it's going to be like to live in your ideal life? This is a really important thing. How much do you need to have? And how much do you want to spend on this amount of money? Because this is essential. This is what it might be tough to figure out. It took me a couple of hours just to figure out what I want, what sort of a house I want to live in a couple of years, what sort of a car I want to drive in a couple of years or even next year, what clothes I'm going to be wearing, what holidays will be going on, figure out how much all that's going to cost, and then make that your yearly wage, and that's how much you need to earn. What will it cost to live your ideal life, guys? Now, did you go around shopping in these high-class stores, car showrooms, show houses, and have fun? I know that Adrian mentioned he's going to go to go shopping in these nice clothes. The MJ said she actually went previously to these clothes shops, and yeah, it's quite an exciting thing. I love doing it. I love looking flash, feeling good, wearing the clothes, you know, having pictures taken, making myself feel like I am successful. And I'm wearing this gear, and I'm programming my mind to believe that I'm ready for this, to believe that I'm actually, you know, capable of having these things. And it makes you program to believe, yeah, I'm going to earn this much money, and I'll go to these stores and become comfortable going to these stores. And the only people that go to these stores are rich people, successful people, and I'll start feeling like one of them, so I'll start acting like one of them. When I act like one, I'll start making more money, because if I'm on the phone to somebody making a sale, and I'm so desperate to make a commission, like, oh my god, you know, I can really save you this, I can really save you this, I can really save you this, and do this, 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 and this. You just sound desperate as a salesman. But if you're acting successful, you're like, yeah, I've got a really good option for you there, sir. You know what I mean? Like for me, I work in life insurance now. I'm not sure if you're all aware. I've got a really good option for you, sir. You know, and life insurance is something that I really believe in. And you can actually get yourself set up for a very low cost to have a very high payout for yourself. You'll have that peace of mind that money's in place in case the worst thing were to happen to yourself or your partner. And now it just sounds so much easier, calmer, and more relaxed, and less desperate, because we're not desperate for these sales. And if you sound desperate, then you're already lost. So it makes you feel more comfortable, more successful, and more ready for being successful. You know, did you write all your positive words which you're using? Phenomenal, excellent, fantastic. When someone asks me how am I doing, oh, absolutely, you know, marvellous. I've got so much energy today I can't even explain. And you almost sound like you're bursting with energy. And I am. You know, I'm full of energy. Can't wait for the day to start. How are you doing? You know, I'm alright. Oh, good. You know, let's hope we get from alright to better. You know, what you've been up. You know, and you just seem on the ball by the words that we use. We all have a limited vocabulary when it comes to this. I mean, I've gone through my day saying the same words. You know, the most overused words in my language used to be good, okay, I'm sorry, because for some reason a lot of people in the UK apologise for everything they do, even though it's not their fault. Or I'd say thank you. Yeah, I'd say thank you to people at the shops that I'd bought something from. I mean, yeah, I'm thanking them, but you know, what am I thanking them for, really? Because I'm paying for it. They should be thanking me. But it's and sorry, you know, someone bumps into you and you apologise for them. So now I've just actually extended my vocabulary, and it's amazing the potential that it has. 1, you sound more intelligent. 2, you feel more intelligent. 3, you're more interesting than everyone else because you're using different words. And 4, it's amazing how much the physiology has. When you're using words, you can change your state by the words that you're using. If you're feeling okay and saying you're okay, yeah, right. If you're having a rubbish day and you feel tired, if you're using words like phenomenal, excited, fantastic, brilliant, and you're saying with enthusiasm, you'll start feeling them. Or you'll start feeling a lot better than actually depressed and tired of what you're actually feeling. So take that in mind, and I really want you guys to start using this in your day-to-day. Test it out for a week and you'll be amazed. And there's websites you can just download a million positive words out and just go work your way through your list. Pick out ones you don't really want to use because there are random ones, you know, like Zippy or Xenophile or I don't know, I'm just reading off my list now, guys, just so you know. Unification or anything like that, you know. I mean, the words that we might not use, but try them anyway. See what works for you. Phenomenal. It's not something I would use before, but it works for me, and it sounds great, and it feels great. Actions speak louder than words. To get the full benefit from this program, you need to implement the ideas that are shared to get the best results. You can read 1,000 books and learn a lot of information and never implement it, and you're at the same place as you were a million years ago. You might sound more intelligent, like an authority on the situation, but you're not doing anything. So how can you get the results? You know, and if you're being a coach, if you're being a business person who's inspiring people to become people, you taking action and living this life is the biggest sales thing you can actually have. If I walk into a room dressed in a suit and I'm selling something, and I know my product and I use my product, I want to have such a better sale communication with this person than if I was just trying to sell something I've never used in my life. I'm not making much money off it, and I don't really know the product through and through because I haven't learned about it. You're never going to make a sale because you don't know the product, you don't believe it, you don't use it, you don't have the action with the product. You don't have the action of, like, I could talk all day about going into space, but I've never been, so I don't know. You talk to an astronaut about it and say, oh, you can literally feel the enthusiasm and interest bleeding out of his words because he knows it. Like the same way with cooking for me. You all can tell by that I'm a chef. When I talk about food, you can literally feel the enthusiasm and passion and vibration in my voice by how much passion I've got for food. I absolutely love it. It's going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life. I mean, I can't wait to have friends and family over once, twice, three, four, every night of the week, cooking for them, expanding their mind of food, showing them different flavours and taste sensations, and getting them away from burgers and chips, and just blowing their mind with healthy, nutritious food that's absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking forward to that, and that's my passion, and you can tell that because I live it. But if I said to you, yeah, I love cooking, it's great, it's great to eat well, you can tell the obvious difference. I love eating food. The words are the same. I love eating gorgeous food that's real healthy. It's something I love doing. The same words are being used, but the enthusiasm is a different level. I'm on a different planet because of how if we live it, we understand and believe it. That's how you'll expand in network marketing, by knowing your product, being around people who use the product and use it yourself. I mean, another Eamon, you use your product quite a lot and you say it, and I'm sure that comes through in your words. It's powerful. That's why you can't sell something you don't believe in. Now, moving on to the image maker. I know that's a good review of the last chapter, and I can actually talk for a million years about all of these chapters because I love them. But when you have an image of where you want to be, and this is so true, you eliminate all of your competition. You stop trying to beat the person next to you because their goals are different to your goals. You stop trying to be better than the people around you because their goals are not your goals. If your goals are to help a lot of people, then your goals are completely different and you're eliminating your competition by being in a certain place. And you don't mind helping other people in the process if you're trying to build a business. You don't mind forwarding clients to that person because you need the right clients for your business. There's no point in having 10 clients on your business who aren't really interested in the product. But if you help those 10 clients get, in business with a lot of other people where they would be interested in, one, you'll make a lot of friends in the network marketing business. Two, you'll have friends for life with those people because you're definitely helping them to their specific needs, and they know you have the best interest at heart, and they'll probably come back to you and give you a business anyway because of what you've done for them. You eliminate competition, you stop trying to beat people, and you only set your own targets. So there's no winning or losing. You're only working towards where you need to be in your life, and that's important. That's something I realised, and it is a powerful thing. You're only in a race with yourself, and in that sort of race, you always win because you're always pushing your boundaries. Right, here's our little stick man. Now I say little, but this is the biggest thing that I realised when I first unlocked this. It blew my mind. The simplicity of this idea and how much John and Bob Proctor still use this in their teachings. It's that good. And it's a simple idea, but do not let the simplicity of this idea fall on your ears. Don't let it fall on deaf ears because this is powerful stuff. Change the image in your mind of what you want, and you will in turn change the results you are working towards. Once you've got this image in your mind, in your conscious mind, and you're thinking about where you want to be and what you want to do, and you've had this before, you change your conditions and you change your habits to work in line with what you want to do. If you want to be healthy, you start eating healthier, you're changing your habits. If you want to go to the gym, you start working out, eating right, drinking protein shakes. Or in my case, drinking raw eggs and orange juice when I was 17 and trying to put on protein like you wouldn't believe. You change your habits because you're trying to change what you want to do. You can't just say I want to go on a diet and then never change your diet because it's impossible. You can't just want to do something. If you actually want to be somewhere and want to do something with your life, you start changing your actions and your habits. When you start changing your habits and your conditions, you start changing what you're actually doing physically. Eating differently, looking differently, acting differently, believing different things. Believing different things, that's a powerful one. And you start creating these actions, and with action come our results. Naturally. If we do something, we get a result from it. If I throw a ball, it lands somewhere. Where it lands is the result. But the only way I could have thrown that ball is by saying to myself, I'm going to throw this ball, I'm going to throw this ball. By saying it to enough in my head and believing I was going to do it enough, I created a condition in my mind that said to myself, I'm going to throw this ball. So then you pick the ball up, which is the action, you throw the ball, and you get the result by the ball being thrown. Now that's a really basic example, but it's just to relate. In everyday life, I want to be a successful astronaut or a successful businessman. I create the image in my mind, then I start thinking, what does it take to become this person? I create habits, I wake up earlier, I start writing my list for my day, I start organising my finances so I'm more physically aware of what I'm actually spending, what I'm saving, what I'm doing with my money. Then there are my actions, and these actions, these little habits, these little razor edge activities will get the results, this confidence, this enthusiasm, this excitement, which leads to me people saying to myself, oh, you've changed, what's going on with you? What's going on with you now, Josh? Oh yeah, I'm now a success coach. I help people develop themselves into top performers in sales, business and personal life. I help them become the people they want to become. And they say, what are you talking about? Where'd this come from? Saying, well, it's always been a part of my life, but it's now something I'm starting to share with other people because it's had such a profound impact on me. I want to help other people unlock their potential as well. What are you doing with your life? Oh, well, I'm actually looking to change my career. And then you can go into, and then I'm starting to coach it because they believe he's an authority. That's my results. I'm starting to pick up clients from my friends who've known me for 10 years because one, they trust me, and two, of the result of the actions I'm doing and things that I'm saying, and they believe it from me. They want to get the same results in their life and develop an attitude towards success because everyone does. It all starts with the image we make in our head, guys. Now this is powerful. And that's all about your imagination. Now my imagination's always been reasonably big. I've been a big thinker. I'm always a daydreamer. I'm always away with the fairies. And I think it's a bad thing. But all I'm doing is thinking about things that are more powerful. Where I want to be, who I want to do, And there's something as well which I will go into later on called the default mode network, DMN. And we'll go into that later on. When you're daydreaming, you're actually relaxing your mind and you can actually think of ideas of how to get to your places. Now, imagination should be used not to escape reality, but to create it, and I love that. Daydreaming is thinking of ideas, you're imagining where you want to be in your life. You're not escaping your current circumstances. You're imagining where you're going to be. So you can then create habits and actions to get your results to where you're going to be. We are essentially creating who we are by what we're thinking about and how we're doing. The size of your imagination determines. Hey MJ, how are we doing?
Hi, I'm alright, thanks.
Good, good. I've just been blowing through this on my own actually. I wasn't sure if anyone was actually getting on board with it. I've just been having a little conversation with myself.
Alright.
How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, really good.
Good, good, good. What have you been up to today?
I've been making up some flyers for my new business.
Nice.
I've just been to someone's online Forever Living party.
Oh, fantastic. How'd that go?
Yeah, that was good actually. Yeah, I just wanted to see how someone else did it.
Yeah.
Just to give me ideas for my launch on Sunday. So.
No, fantastic. Give you some good ideas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good,
there's
good.
information on there and stuff, so that's really good. Yeah.
Good. Well, what I've been doing, MJ, is I've been going through these slides 'cause I do know them inside out. I've just been talking away as if I've been talking to you guys. I've been going through a few slides, so you can catch up on the introduction a little bit by just flicking back after we finish if you wanted to anyway. And I haven't gone too far into it. I've only recapped what we've already done with the last chapter and just literally moving into the image maker right now. So how did you find the image maker, MJ?
I've done visualization things before. Um, so I'm trying to remember what I've read. But yeah, the thing about being persistent
Mm.
and stuff like that from the chapter, it's all very important because things aren't just going to happen overnight. You've got to keep the visualization and the positivity going and just wait for the results.
No, you are exactly right. Just a review of how much is enough as well, because with these chapters, it's brilliant to that I really enjoy going through these. It's some good stuff for me. But obviously, when we actually start implementing them into our life and having these habits that move forward, these are when we start actually making a big change. And this is where the this program will actually help not only you, everyone else listening on the chapter as well. So did you actually figure out your future expenses, MJ?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm going to
that's
have to
cool.
become a multi-millionaire.
Yeah. Is that what you found out?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, at least you got a figure to work with, and it is good to have that in mind.
Right, yeah. I can still work towards it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you what, because it's one of the things, is a lot of people say they want to have a certain thing or be rich or whatever. But now, because it might seem like a lot of money to yourself, but now you're actually unconsciously programming yourself to, because you've actually made the action of writing down the stuff you want to have and where you want to be in your life and how much it's going to cost. You're almost telling yourself, well, you are telling yourself you're able to have this because you're thinking about it enough to write a plan of how much you need to have and what you need to have. So your body actually starts unconsciously working towards making you rich enough to have all these things. And it might
Yeah.
seem a little bit far-fetched because it's such a high number for yourself, but it's true, you'll start working towards because your mind knows it needs to be a certain place. And the more you reinforce these ideas of where you want to be and how you want to become and your success and your business, of where you want to be, specifically, then the more you'll actually work towards it unconsciously. And then you sometimes start realizing, God, like with me, with the gym, for example, I want to get to the gym, I want to go and get in really good shape, And it's like, for one point, it's all I thought about for a long time. It consumed me because I was really on the ball with going to the gym. And then one day, like, you obviously after a while develop a habit and you stop thinking about going to the gym. I just used to wake up and go to the gym. And after a year and a half or 2 years, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, now I'm pretty happy with where I am now with my weight training. I'm benching a lot of weight, so I'm lifting a lot of weight, and I look pretty good as well. Now that happened because of the image I wanted to be, and I knew where I wanted to go. I set myself goals, and I just started to work towards them unconsciously. It wasn't something I thought about, it's just where I became. Now the same thing happens in business. You set yourself targets in your business, where you want to become, how much you want to earn, and you start repeating them to yourself, and it starts at the initial start. You focus a lot on what you're actually doing, but eventually it becomes unconscious, and you start doing these success habits and doing the things that you need to do to become successful. And then one day you look in the mirror of your house and you're like, "Oh, I'm successful now," and it'll almost be like a bit of a shock. You had a lot of work in there, but it'll just be like you just have reached there because you're unconsciously doing it. So that's just why I reinforce a lot of these ideas, and to actually look forwards and shopping in these these shops, using a positive word because our words affect our physiology so much. And it just using this and you set yourself up for success basically. I'll just jump forward to where we were at the imagination. The size of your imagination, or the size of your imagination should be. The size of your imagination determines the size and the specificity of your goals, of where you want to go, and that's the image maker. Your goals determine what you're working towards. No goals, no action. You're not actually working to. You're just floating through the ocean of life, looking for opportunities. So bigger specific goals. You work on a bigger scale with a clear vision, and you have a set time of where you need to be. And smaller goals, you work on a small scale. You know you can achieve them. However, they're very vague. You're not sure if you've achieved them. Lots of money, healthy, having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or living a good life. All these little small goals that people want to have. I want to stop. I want to be healthy. such a vague goal that could be anything to anyone. So having these more specific goals allow you to work towards it and then eventually actually do stuff. It's not just like going home and watching TV, you know you got to do a certain thing, or when you wake up you know you got to do certain things because you know what you're working towards. You know what you're waking up for. It gives you the drive to do things. And everyone uses the image maker without even knowing it. And, you know, before these ideas, I'm sure, like you said, you were aware of creating pictures in your head and looking forward for goals and stuff and where you want to be. And, you know, creating an image of where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If there's if there is an area in your life which you aren't getting results in, or aren't sure of what you need to do, have an image of where you want to be. I mean, like I say, there's no limits. Like, I could literally spend, and it's something I look forward to doing every couple of weeks or a couple of months, but it takes me so much time. I write down every aspect of my life, every single thing that could want to improve, or something that actually happens to me, and write down where I want to be with it. My finances, my business, these are the obvious ones, my health, you know, my family, my relationships, not only with my friends, but with my girlfriend. Now, my overall personal development, how much work am I doing, how much, you know, how much am I actually learning for myself, what books am I reading, and literally I could have 10, 20, 30 categories, and then defining it into little goals and seeing what I want to get out of each specific area of my life. And when you do this, you're literally saying where you want to be in your entire life. If you have one goal for your business, and you work towards that, because that, I'm saying that it's a good thing, but if you have one goal and that's your business goal, where you want to be in life, then yes, you're working towards it. But this is where rock stars and, you know, famous people get down, because they want to have, you know, be successful rock stars and make millions and millions of pounds, and they get there, but the rest of their life has absolutely no balance. There's nothing in. That's why they collapse and, you know, implode on themselves and, you know, commit suicide, or are just generally not very happy and binge and, you know, drink and do drugs for the rest of their life, because they're a bit, you know, they've got all this money and they don't know what to do with it because they've got everything they want. There's no image of where they want to be in the relationships, personal development, you know, meditation or anything like that. They're just rich now. They don't know what to do. They just feel empty because they're not working towards anything. So the more goals you have where you want to work towards, and you set, I wrote this out, lots and lots of A4 pages of writing. Then I set myself, I broke it down, I highlighted each goal in each specific area, and then write down what goal I want to be in 3 months' time in each specific area. And it's not hugely massive, you know, read for an hour a day, or speak to 10 people a week about coaching, speak to, you know, one new person that could be a potential mentor every month, speak to, you know, eat or drink 2 green juices a day for my breakfast and night time for my health. These little things, these little goals that are working towards being who I want to be. So it might seem a bit of an effort, but the more you do it, the more you enjoy it. You know, we've been through this as well, lots of money, lots of happiness. Your mind doesn't know what a lot or little is. Being specific with your amounts and where you want to be specifically, how many friends do you want to have, how many clients do you want to have, what do you want to wear, how many suits do you want to have in your wardrobe, or dress do you want to have in your wardrobe. Specificity is the key to this. And hit perception. How do you see yourself? Because, you know, other people see us in different ways as well. I could be, you know, internally, I could feel the most successful person in the world. But externally, people look at me and think, what a loser. But that's everyone's perception. And this is on the picture here, you know, you got a little kitten looking in the mirror and he sees a lion. It's how you see yourself is what matters. And when you start seeing yourself as a lion, as a person of success, as a person of value, who can offer a lot of things to people, you start acting like it. And then when people say, who are you to teach me about this? Or who are you to tell me this? You have no idea. You have that inner confidence, that inner, you know, that inner game, shall we say, that you know for a fact what you're talking about because you believe it. You believe in yourself enough to say, now I understand that it's not for everyone. I understand this product might not be for you. However, I know it works. And, you know, I know as a fact that I work with a lot of people who this product has worked for. So it's something I believe in personally. And it can help you in your happiness, because if we look better, we feel happier. If it's a health product, for example, or a makeup product, these products can make you healthier and happier. And when you got this happiness and confidence, you have better relationships. And as you start talking about this, people start to look at you differently and start thinking, actually, MJ, Adrian, Amy, Eamon, you actually start knowing, you know what you're talking about here. And they start seeing you as an authority figure, because you know your products and you understand your perception of who you are comes through externally, because you believe it in yourself. Like, I'm the best at this. So it doesn't matter what anyone else says to you, you know inside you're the best. So when they ask you questions, you're on the ball and you know these things. If you want to have all of these brilliant things here, what's amazing to you? You never listen, you got a bad memory, you're a loser, you can't play sports. This is what we went through in the last chapter as well, with in your mind. And the voice in your head that says you can't do this is a liar. It's just you trying to convince yourself and trying to look after yourself to make sure you don't either get injured or hurt. I mean, we talk about this, your mind is looking after your best interests at heart. It doesn't want to do this because it might have a bad experience. You don't want to play sports because last time you did it, you had a bad experience and you're emotionally scarred from it. Everyone might have laughed at you because you couldn't kick a football. It's what I had. I was rubbish at sports, but I think it was because in primary school or secondary school, early in secondary school, I had a rubbish sports day or something like that, and everyone was funny with me. So from then on, I was that cool guy who didn't play sports because I wasn't interested. But really, it was because I had a bad experience once, and I was protecting myself from having a bad experience again. So it's just something we say to ourselves, but we're not always believing it. And this comes to perception as well, and who you believe you really are. And this is what I said in the first couple of chapters. I don't know if you remember, MJ, when we said, if you could announce your success and riches to the people, like your family and closest friends, if you said to them, yeah, I'm going to be rich and successful, how would you feel? Do you remember that, MJ?
Yeah.
Now, that's kind of who we believe we are, our perception of ourselves, how we see ourselves. And it's got to match up with who we want to be. And the only way to get there is by believing it ourselves. And if you're saying to yourself, oh, no, but I know I'm going to be successful, but I'm not there now, so obviously I don't believe it. That's what you're telling yourself, that you're not there now. And if you tell yourself that enough times, you're never going to be there because you're not there now. Tomorrow, you won't be there now. In 10 years, you won't be there now. You're still working towards it. So you've got to believe it now and believe where you want to be and who you want to be now to get to where you want to be. Because it all starts in the mind with the image maker. It starts in your conscious mind of believing this thing, which creates habits and conditions for our bodies to create these actions, which get our results of who we are. And if you're not, start pretending. Start pretending to be an authority figure. Start pretending to be confident and happy and successful. And you'd be amazed. It feels weird at first, like everything does. Riding a bike first was difficult and felt weird. Learning to read and write was weird at first. But then we eventually did it because we eventually learned how to read by repeating it to ourselves. So if you repeat to yourself, pretend that you're rich and you're famous and you are an authority in network marketing or business, you're going to start developing these habits and start becoming it. I mean, this is the farmer. Do you remember the farmer in the image maker there, MJ?
Is that... oh, yeah.
With the farmer and the minister, and the minister goes and says, what a nice farm you have. God's really blessed you for this farm. And the farmer's saying, yes, Reverend, but you should have seen the farm beforehand.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, that's the perception. That's the perception of things, of how, the minister sees the farm as it is now and not as it was before, and how the farmer sees the minister. He understands what he's done. And also the image of what the farmer had. He had an image of what his land looked like before it actually looked like it was. And he had to have that image in his mind, because without that, he wouldn't be able to create this. He had to have the image in his mind of what his land's going to look like before it was even looking like. in his land is the same as our lives and our minds. Once we create what we want to have in our mind, then we can start going about creating it. He had a clear picture of what he wanted his land to look like, and he made it look like it. It was hard bloody work, but he made it work. You know, I mean, I'm sure you could see his crops and his farm in your mind, and that's just the image maker working on your side. And I'm sure your image is different to my image, but it's still an image in your mind of what it could look like. You know, so what does the image of your future look like? You know, because you can visualize anything you want, and we always see in pictures. You know, if I could just fire off words to you, like cat, table, towel, swimming pool, beach. In your mind is literally putting up one image after the other of every word that I'm saying, because you've had an experience and you're remembering the experience. So if you're trying to imagine an image of your future, which you're not sure what it looks like, you imagine, you know, something you've seen before, in a film before, or something before, and put your own face and your own body in a situation, and imagine it. Because I want to put an image in our minds and start working towards it. That's how we can create our future. I mean, have you seen this film before, MJ?
No, I've not seen that one.
So it's with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's called Catch Me If You Can. Now, this is a really good example of the image maker. Now, in this film, Leonardo DiCaprio was a 17-year-old man, and his parents are in an argument, and he was sick of the arguing, and I think they were getting a divorce. So he decided to leave home, and then he thought, okay, I need to earn some money. What's the best way to earn money? So he looked around and tried to find the best job, and then just started to convince people that he was, you know, had all these careers and was like successful, and because he could look a little bit old if he wanted to. He actually went around and pretended to be a pilot. He pretended to be a doctor, an assistant attorney general, and he actually ended up making £2.5 million before his 19th birthday. Because he pretended to be a pilot, he called up all the pilots and asked them, you know, where they got their suits from, who they get their wages from. So he ended up getting a checkbook and started filling out checks that have been signed, you know, and get signatures from pieces of paper from the pilot's license company, and then he started to put a stamp on the check. So he's actually getting paid for being a pilot without actually being a pilot. He'd be an assistant pilot in these airplanes, so he'd get there and just be a backup pilot. So actually we're flying with an airplane with a captain as the assistant pilot, learning from the guy, but not actually knowing anything about being a pilot. And then when someone asked him the next time, he knew the answer to the questions. And the more he did it, the better he got at being a pilot and pretending to be a pilot. That eventually when someone asked him, he was 100% sure of what he was saying. He wasn't even a pilot, but he was making a pilot's wage and signing off checks by pretending to be this person. Then he became a doctor. He just walked into a hospital knowing that the person was looking for a job, and he walked in with pretend certificates, pretend certifications that he was been to medical school and he'd worked in hospitals before, with all this fake stuff, and he believed in himself that he could convince these people. He got the job as a doctor, like leading the entire hospital, and which meant for him, he didn't have to do any surgery because all the doctors did that for him underneath him. He was just in charge, making a lot of money, you know, and just being in charge of people. So when someone came to him, for example, and said, two people came to him with an emergency, said, come on, doctor, you need to help us with this. So he came down as a person that was really badly burnt, and two doctors were arguing of what they should do. So he said, well, what do you think we should do? To one of the doctors, and he explained, and he agreed. And then he said to the other doctor, what do you think we should do? And he said a similar thing. So what Leonardo DiCaprio did was just said, right, I understand where you're both coming from, and I agree. Now, I think we should do this, 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 and this. And all he did is taken the 2 points off the people and turned it into 1 point, and said, now do you both concur? And they were saying, yes, we agree with you, like it was his idea. And then he went back to his work. He had no idea about medical history, but actually, and this is a true story as well. It's based on a true story. Assistant Attorney General.
That's scary in some ways, but yeah, I can see your point.
And it's just because he believed it enough and he convinced people by pretending to be this. You know, and it's just the whole power of our mind and believing it in ourselves. This is a true story. You know, people believed who he said he was because he acted like them. So if you want to be successful in network marketing or business, pretend like you already are successful and talk to people that way, and they'll believe you. You know, are you somebody who already had a fantastic business, only needs a few more clients to get involved to help them become successful as well? You know, are you someone who's just getting into the business? You know, that's how you can relate to someone. If someone asks, "What do you do?" I'm just starting out in this business. Actually work at a successful business company, and you know, I've got a lot of clients involved in this company, which isn't a lie because there are a lot of clients involved in the company, and you know, they're really getting a lot of success, and it's actually a business opportunity. So a lot of my friends are becoming really rich by selling a product they believe in and it works for them. Now, do you want to try this product for a month? You know, and it sounds a lot better than saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just new to this business and I'm trying to get a few clients signed up so we can learn about it and help people." There's two different sides to this story. Now, you're still the same person, but you've got two different stories, and one of them sounds a hell of a lot better than the other one. It's
Yeah.
about believing who you are. You know, what is your self-image? You know, who are you telling yourself that you actually are? This is where we hold our beliefs in ourselves, and this is where our feelings are and our emotions come from. And all of our feelings about things directly relate to our beliefs. You know, how you feel about a salesman, or how you feel about selling a product to people, or how you feel about going to the gym is about your beliefs. So what are your beliefs? You know, what do you believe in with the business? What do you believe in with yourself? And if it doesn't actually coincide with your image, you need to change it, because we can't outperform our own self-image of how we see ourselves. You need to start changing who we think we are to get the results we want to be. And it's a paradigm, you know, it's just a series of habits and conditions which you're able to change. That's why you're able to see people who are massively overweight and have been for 40 years, and they're like hugely obese, and then eventually one thing just clicks, and their beliefs completely change, and they believe, "Oh my God, what have I been doing to myself? I need to get into shape. There's not a doubt in my mind I'm going to get healthy because I need to do it to," you know, it's usually like they say you're going to die in 6 months. And they say, "Oh, I need to get healthy now. I need to live for my family and for my children." The beliefs change. So they don't even look at a chocolate bar anymore. They see it and they feel disgusted by it because they know that's going to result in death. So they see themselves as being healthy people, and they only eat healthy food, and they believe that they're going to be healthy. And that's when you see people with like those huge trouser pictures, you know, where they're skinny people with a huge pair of trousers. Because they believe that they're going to be healthy, and that's their paradigm that they were able to change. And if someone can change that much of a habit of 40 years, we can all change our little habits that we've got about our business and who we are and how we see ourselves. And you know, what we focus on becomes who we are. If you focus on positive and successful things, we get positive and successful people. Negative or poverty, for like, I haven't got enough money, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I'm not in the mood. We become negative and poor people. And this is where your will comes in. How much you believe in something that you can actually do something. How much you believe you can actually achieve all of this stuff. It's making sense to you, MJ?
Yeah. I'm at the moment. My friend's sister also does Forever Living. She's the 8th best saleswoman in Britain for the Forever Living, and she does a lot of online things, and I'm just going to pretty much copy what she does. So I'll sort of be, stepping up to her level.
Yeah.
So that I can produce the level of sales that she does.
Exactly. And that's all you need to do. It's an easy thing for you to do. Just replicate what someone else is doing who is successful. You know, learn what they're doing on the day-to-day. Like, call her up and say, obviously if you're her downline or whatever, you know, message her on Facebook and say, what are you doing every day? How many people are you talking to every day? You know, what are you doing for yourself? And just watching her and copying what she's doing, because that's what a successful person in network marketing is doing. You know,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. It is right what you're doing. It does make a lot of sense, you know, to just copy her because she's already been successful. And then you start changing the image in your mind of who you are because you start to believe it differently.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, then you stop thinking, you know, I'm looking forward to having this business. Then you start thinking, I've got this business to help people. And you start talking differently about it and start acting differently with people.
Mhm.
You know, if for example you're talking to one client every week about, you know, Forever Living, then you're going to be quite invested into that client. If you're speaking to 5 people a day, you know, when you get to this 4th person a day, and they say, if you're sounding desperate, you're saying like, 'cause it's the one client you need, you're like, yeah, you know, it's a really good product, you should really invest into this. And they can hear the desperation, and you know, because you want their business, they can hear it in your voice. If you talk to like 50 people that week, and you're saying, yeah, you know, it's a really good product, and a lot of people do use this, you're a lot more relaxed and calm because one, you're more used to talking to these people, and two, you know, it's not everyone is for this. You know, you don't need to have this client, but it's good if they can get on board. And they're like, oh, okay, you know, because you're saying, and sorry, I can't keep for long because I've got more clients waiting. And they're like, oh, actually, so you're actually successful and you've got this business running. You're like, yeah, you know, I mean, if it's something you want to work towards, then we can get there together. You know, it's just how you present yourself to people. So it is quite powerful. You know, never give up on what you want to do. And this is where your persistence comes in as well. You know, to get good at anything or create habits, what would you say that you need to do, MJ?
Just keep doing it.
I mean, pretty much, and it is simple, but it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. You've got to. There's a book called. I think it's something like 40 days to change your habit or something, or get into good habits. I can't remember what it's called now, but because there's a certain amount of time it takes for a habit to change and for it to be replaced with a good habit.
Mm.
I can't remember what it is now, but yeah, so you've got to be persistent.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool, you know, to know that you're able to change these things by changing them literally. Even if you don't want to be healthy, but you know it's a good thing, you know you need to be healthy, but you're like, oh God, I love chocolate. If you wake up every day and have salad for breakfast and vegetable juices all day, eventually you're gonna just become healthy because of persistence. You know, your mind will eventually get used to doing it and you'll become healthy. The same way with your business, you'll start doing these things persistently. You'll get more comfortable doing them. It'll be less of an effort to actually get up and speak to people.
Yeah.
It'll become a habit. So it is true. Just repeat what you're doing and learn from it. You know, avoid focusing on what is non-productive. Make it a non-negotiable deal with yourself. Just say, I'm gonna be this person no matter what, and that's it. You know, you're not gonna stop until you reach it. And if you say to yourself, I'm not gonna give up with this, I'm gonna do it no matter what. You know, people will believe it. People will see it inside you that you believe in what you're doing. You know, it's a good thing. You know, I think you can't really sell something unless you believe in it. I don't think. And if you do believe in it and you're trying to,
No, that's.
and then it'll work.
Mhm.
And this is another thing as well about people who who do you really think? And this is where it comes into like when you start learning about things. Because a lot of people talk, and all they're doing is repeating what they already know. And that's when you get people who just seem very self-focused and quite inner-focused. Because all they're talking about is their past experiences and what they think about things. They're never actually learning because they're not listening to people. They're not actually learning from them. You know, are you actually spending time with yourself and asking yourself these questions of where you want to be? What do you want to do? How am I going to get clients? Okay, maybe I need to surround myself with people who are doing a similar thing to myself. And then learning from them. And then then that's actually thinking. But if you're just doing the same stuff the same day, and expecting to get different results, it's a definition of insanity, really. Well, Isaac Newton said, or Einstein said, sorry. It's the definition of insanity because you're just thinking about what you've done before. You're just really remembering more than thinking. 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think by just remembering, and 95% of people would rather die than think. They're just doing the same stuff day in, day out. And I'm sure but I know tons of people that in my day-to-day life and my friends from back home who do the same stuff day in, day out, and they love it. They finish work, they come home, they put TV on, they watch TV at a certain time, they have like pizza on Wednesdays and Chinese on Saturdays, and they do the same things every day. They play on the video games, have the same friends around, go to the same sort of parties and the same sort of clubs, and they do the same stuff and they enjoy it, and that's all they do forever. And if you're going to tell them you need to start thinking about things and being different, they literally would rather die than think. And I'm sure people in the similar situation, MJ. People just do the same stuff constantly.
Yeah, it's quite boring living like that, though.
Yeah, it is.
But it's safe.
Yeah, it is safe.
People feel comfortable doing it because it's safe.
Exactly. And I've done a similar thing myself. I've done a lot for a long time. You go to work, earn your money, and go out on the weekend and spend all your money. And it took me a lot of years to realise there is more to life than going out on the weekend and trying to find myself a nice girlfriend or someone like a good friend to meet up with and go drinking with, or how much I can actually drink. There's more to life than that. 3% of people think they think by... These are the people that think they sound intelligent, but they're just repeating what they already know, and they don't really listen to other people. And the 2% of people, people like ourselves who are thinking outside the box and trying to learn from other people, are the real people who are actually thinking and trying to imagine where they want to go. And creating new ideas, and then, asking themselves about, is this current belief I have about this actually relevant to my life? And actually asking the bigger picture questions. Our higher faculties, we all have the power to choose and the power to act. And these are the faculties that are here. And I do repeat these every now and again because it's powerful of what we actually have and available to ourselves. Our reason, our memory, our perception, our will, intuition, imagination. Once you combine all these faculties together and use them in your day-to-day life, it's so powerful. Using your intuition and learning about people and thinking about what they want to get out of the situation, not just selling them a spiel, actually listening to what they need. Your perception of things, how you see yourself, and also how other people see themselves, and then how you see them. There's a lot of different ways of looking at it, but it's true. Your reasoning faculties, your reasoning of yourself, and your reasoning of other people, how you relate to people as well. And at the end of a really unproductive day, what do you do, MJ?
Probably have a glass of wine.
I'm very similar, actually. You do that. At the end of a really productive day, what do you do?
Have
a little fist pump.
Sorry?
Have a little fist pump at this guy in the picture. A little yes, best day ever.
Oh yeah, I feel happy and satisfied that I've had a productive day.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I know it's a bit of a random question, weird question to ask, but you'll understand in a minute. So when you get a good idea, what do you do, MJ?
Usually write it on a piece of paper before I forget it.
And that's good. And that's what we kind of get into. When I've had a really good day myself, I'll think, well, what about it's made it a good day? What about today has made it a good day? And I'll write down a little journal. Why has today been good? What have I done today differently to make it a good day? What's my attitude been? How have I related to people? Have I been positive? Have I been negative? Have I been on the ball? Have I put in more work today? How did I get up and actually get 4 hours of work done, at 8 this morning. How did I do that? Well, I just knew I needed to get something done, and figure out why it was a good productive day. Because otherwise, we're just searching for productive days without really knowing how we're going to get them. And likewise, when you have a bad day, why is it being a bad day? What are you feeling? What are you saying to yourself? And if you start writing it down at the end of the day and having a journal of learning lessons, what did I learn today? Well, I learned I can't eat, a half pack of biscuits in the morning with a coffee before I do my work, because I know for a fact that I'll just get tired, I'll get a sugar rush and then a sugar low, and I'll not be motivated to do any work. So that's my learning lesson, not to eat biscuits, usually at all, but especially in the morning, because I'll be unproductive. And that'll be a little list of stuff, and your little, stuff to work on. So when you see, instead of just remembering and saying, oh yeah, that was a bad thing to do. I mean, I do it still now. Sometimes, I'll do something bad, and then a month later I'll do the same thing bad, and I'll think, God, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm still stuck there, eating a pack of biscuits in the bloody morning. But once you write it down, you remember, and once you actually have that action of writing stuff down of why it was a good day or why it was a bad day, you start remembering and you start programming yourself to look for these things. So before you actually do them, you start realizing, okay, I know this is not a good thing to do, so I'm not going to do it. I mean, even if you do them, you're still knowing that you're doing a bad thing. So then eventually you'll stop doing them. You'll stop doing them completely because you realize that you're getting bad results from them. So it's good that you write an idea down when you do get one, either on your phone or a piece of paper. But also to write down when you have a bad day, what made it a bad day. Because then you'll have the tools there to realize how to have not a bad day, or how to have a good day by writing it down. I really got up. I was tired, but I got up and had a shower, had a good breakfast, and then committed to an hour of reading. And then after that, I just made sure that I sat at the front of the computer and then just typed for 3 hours. And I got a lot of work done. Or I listened to a certain type of music, or I did a certain thing in the morning, went to the gym. That made me have a good morning. These sort of little things and these little tips that you learn from yourself, writing them down is powerful. It's a good way to have a little diary of learning what you've been up to. When you have an idea, sometimes, when I've learned a lot through self-development, a lot of these books and a lot of these audio tapes I'm listening to constantly, they say in yourself, when you have an idea, what do you do with it? Because, apparently you can have 3 ideas in a year that can make you a millionaire. So, and people just think, oh, that's a really good idea, and then they forget about it. Because it's a good idea, and then you remember, oh, I'm going to do this, there's a hole in the market, I can make £1 million doing this, I'm excellent at this service. And it kind of fills your soul for a few weeks, and you kind of think, oh, but then you get distracted, and then you forget about it, and it's gone. So writing these ideas down is powerful, but also in the morning, start searching for ideas. What can I do to increase my business? What can I do to increase my sales? This is what you were saying, MJ. You found the person who's eighth best saleswoman in the UK, and you're going to copy what she does. And that's a good idea. And it's an idea which you're actually going to implement, so it's good that you've had that. But if you'd have just thought, oh yeah, it'd be a good idea to write this, to do what she's doing, we all forget things. We all know we should be doing good things. I mean, I've got a list at home that I actually have written down, and I know I'm going to do certain things, but I just don't have time, to write down my goals all the time. I don't have time to do specific things, but they're there on my list still to do. So this is powerful. When you do get an idea, you think this could be an idea that's going to be good. Have a look at the questions you're asking yourself. Will this idea change the results I'm currently getting? Yes or no? Will it take me closer or further from my current goal? Oh, it'll take me close to my goal. Okay, there's another yes. You're working close. This idea is going to be a good idea. Will the idea hurt on in the process? If it's an idea I'm going to speak to everyone that I know about this, I'm not going to stop until everyone says yes, it could hurt a few people because you'd lose a little relationships because you're too pushy with it. So you need to think about, the idea, will it hurt anyone in the process? Because if it's no, fantastic. Are you able to do this? Because it could be, I'm going to buy everyone I know a free sample of my product. Yes, it'd be a good idea to be able to give them that, and they'd probably benefit from that. but can you really afford to give these products out? Is it realistic? Yes or no? You know, that's as an example. And if it is, and it does tick all the boxes, just take immediate action. If a good idea is to speak to 10 people, speak to the 10 people right now. Open 10 chat boxes on Facebook and speak to 10 people and say, hi, how's it going? And then start a conversation with 10 people and do it, and then have a phone call then and there with somebody. Start taking the action on the idea immediately. If the idea is to start writing ideas down, write that idea down as an idea, you know, and then you actually set it in place and action, because action creates a feeling which implements in our subconscious mind as a repetitive habit that we can actually implement. And the more we focus on the ideas that we're having and working towards them by making the action, the more we'll have. Because our mind starts realising that they're good things and they're actually going to help us get us to where we need to be. So we're going to get more of them. So how are you feeling with this, MJ, in general?
Yeah, I think I'm putting a lot of this into practice and focusing on what I want and how to get it and what I need to do. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And I mean, also in general as well, you know, if you're happy with a certain situation, I feel like for me, if I'm unhappy with my stress levels, if I'm not happy with this completely, I need to change it. You know, I'm sure there are things in everyone's lives that they're not happy with and need to change. So have a look at yourself, you know, and, you know, figure out, you know, am I happy with my health? Am I happy with my business? Am I happy with my social life? And then just change it, you know. We're powerful people, and once you actually take the action to change it and to do these things, you know, as a longer lasting change. What do you need to do to get good at something or create a habit? Repetition. You know, it's hard at first, but you can actually do it eventually, because like learning to ride a bike, or learning to read, you don't just if we gave up after 3, 4, 5, 10 weeks of learning to read, we'd never be readers, but we learned because we just repeated ourselves and created a habit, however tough it was. Now also this question which I come across for myself a lot: what if I can't stop thinking, or I can't find the idea I want to find? Now, there's a couple of options I like to use. Meditation is one of them. You know, I meditate, and there's different types of meditation for everyone. You know, there's some where you listen to a guided meditation, there's one where you listen to music, there's one where you can just sit peacefully and focus on your breath, or there's mantras, so you're actually focusing on like a Om, and that's your main focus. And when you're focusing just on the sound, you kind of stop thinking about things because you're more focused on that one idea and that one thought or one sound. So there's mantras, and there's different types of meditation. I love meditation. It does help me have more balance and order in my life. Another thing you can use, you know, stop what you're doing and go for a walk. And this actually helps implement the default mode network, which I'm not sure you've heard of, MJ, or the guys listening to on the recording. But have you heard of it, MJ, by any chance?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. Now this is something that's programmed into our mind, where ideas come from and where thoughts come from. Now, if you're always, I mean, I've had a thing before, you know, I'm really close to an idea. I'm trying to think of how to get it, and I just can't figure out how to get this idea into place of what to do to make this work. And then I'm in the shower, and suddenly it comes to me. Or I'm out for a walk, and I'm like, oh, that's it, obviously. And the reason it does come to you in that sort of situation, have you had that before? You've had like ideas in the shower, or when you're out for a walk, or you're having a drink with friends?
It's called a eureka moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Now what it is basically your mind is doing a task, which, like showering or brushing your teeth, it's something you do and you have done that many times. Like going for a walk, you know, you've done it that many times, you literally know how to do it 99.999% without even needing to think about it. You just go and do it, you brush your teeth, and that's just what you're doing. So it leaves your mind very open to think about things, because it's almost like a little meditation almost, because you know what you're doing. You're just walking, and it gives you a little bit of peace. Are you in the shower and you're washing yourself, but you don't need to think about washing yourself. You've done it a million times, so you're just doing it. There's just enough thought there to keep your mind ticking over, but the rest of your mind, your subconscious mind, is very open to the ideas that you've been thinking about, and it just puts two and two together, and then it comes the eureka moment because you stop focusing on the small details. It sees the bigger picture, and you get these eureka moments. And it's a big thing, and people are actually learning how to use the default mode network quite a lot by, like people like Einstein, and people are having these ideas. A lot of these famous entrepreneurs, successful people, just go for long walks and clear their head and stop thinking about what they need to think about. That's the day before Einstein actually founded the theory of relativity. He said to one of his colleagues, "I give up on this. I'm not going. There's no chance of me finding this idea. It's not going to work." So what he did was he went out with his friends, and he had a relaxing day, relaxing night with his friends, and just relaxed and didn't do anything. And then the next day, he called this guy and said, "I've got it, eureka! I've found it." Because he switched off and relaxed and did something that was almost automatic. Relaxed and had a few drinks with his friends, which had done a million times before, and then this idea made sense and came to him. So if you're trying to struggle with actually to find an idea, that's why I use meditation as well. Actually you're thinking about it, but you're using such little thought that ideas are very open toward yourself, and your mind is very open to this. Where my best ideas usually come from, sitting in the office, you get ideas, but you usually got a lot of work until the ideas don't come. Doing the dishes, walking to lunch, talking to somebody, taking a shower, or doing two or more things at the same time. Now these all shout out to me as things that we do almost automatically, things that we've done a million times that are almost automatic. And a lot of ideas do come from these sort of things. The meditation I use is Holosync. Now I invest a bit of my time into this and look into the right meditation, because I like meditation, but there's certain ones that don't really work for me as much. I'm such a big thinker. I can't just sit quietly and not think. I always just think. I end up focusing on not thinking, which is actually a thought, if that makes sense. Like I'm just thinking, don't think. But that in itself is a thought. And then I just start thinking, is that a thought? And I think, yeah, it's a thought. Then I go a little inner dialogue, and I'm totally off. And then I just end up talking to myself, and ideas come, and I'm not meditating anymore. I'm just sat there thinking about stuff. So what I use is this Holosync. Now, I'm not endorsed by them or anything. This is just what I use, and it's just a meditation. A lot of binary sounds to listen to, and just for like half an hour, I chill out and just put these sounds on, sit down, and I can think of whatever I want to think of, and then these sounds just relax me. And there's a lot of technology in this as well. The guy actually used to be a Zen monk himself who created this. So he actually figured out how to meditate deeper than a Zen monk just using these sounds. And it's true as well, meditation will bring you more prosperity and success, give you more ideas. It eliminates so much stress. You have an inner peace, an inner calm. So when you see like Buddhists, they just seem like so unshakable. You just like walk up and they're like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And, like, they're just cool, they're just flowing because they're so peaceful inside. There's no inner turmoil, there's no inner stress. There's no anger, there's no emotional trauma, because there's no depression, because everyone's different, but it does really work, and it's something that I hugely recommend to anyone who doesn't use meditation has to use it, because it's limitless really of what you can actually use it for, and I use it every day. So what one quality will ensure your success, as I've been through, it's persistence. As Paul Hutzey actually found out as well, persistence is key, and having the right image in your mind. And what's the one thing you want to do? If you persist on a specific task every day, working towards your goal, will you get it done? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's yes, because you're going to actually get it. It's impossible for it not to. So if you stop worrying about the small picture and start looking at the big picture, if I talk to this many people and do this specific things every day, I'm going to 100% be there. And it's not an if, but, or maybe, it's 100%, because you're going to definitely be there. So it's, it's the key to success. And that's Paul Hutzey as well, how he got there. Now, what do you think Paul Hutzey is? Do you remember Paul Hutzey from the program, MJ?
Yeah.
And do you remember what his dilemma at the start of the when he went to Bob Proctor, what his dilemma actually was?
Yeah, didn't he work for a company and it was 175th?
Yeah, exactly that.
He wanted to be in the top 100.
Yep, it was exactly that.
Um, yeah.
So what do you think his dilemma was? Like why he couldn't get to the top 100?
Um, I don't know.
No, it's all right. I mean, it was basically because of the image he had of himself. And that's what Bob said as well. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
actually the image of what he held in himself. He was trying to become top 100, and he knew he was at 175th, and he acted like he was 175th, and he was going to get to
Oh,
100.
that's what, yeah. Yeah, I
But if you,
remember now. Yeah.
yeah, but if you were in the top 100, you wouldn't act like that. You know,
No, yeah.
you'd act differently because you've already got to that place. You'd speak to people differently. Be like, if I was successful now, I made £1 million, I would speak to you differently than I'm speaking to you right now. You'd have that unshakable confidence. You'd know what you're talking about is a fact. You know, you'd be, even if you like, I just hadn't, if you're given a script to talk about, you're just that confident in yourself because you know you're successful and you can do this. You say it a different way because that's your image of yourself. And that's what Paul was holding Paul back, is his image of himself, of what he thought he was doing, because he acted like he was trying to get to the 100th place. But what he needed to do was actually act like he was in the 100th place, not trying to get there. And that's what changed things for him. You know, you got to see yourself as a person you want to become. There's just no other way. Successful act like successful people because they are successful. And the only way to get there is by acting like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I say. That's why I'm copying what Lisa does. She's the one that's the Forever Living's 8 best saleswoman. Because, you know, if I think what the word is. I've gone brain dead. It's too late in the evening. But yeah, I just because she does YouTube things and stuff on Facebook, so I just sort of emulate. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Emulate her, and then I should get to where she is hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's the thing here it says as well, and I like this quote, I like the picture as well. You know, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. You know, being talented will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men or women with talent. Genius will not. You know, unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. People who have got so much potential in them. You know, I mean, I was told a lot of potential. You've got so much potential at being a certain thing, but you're not doing it because you don't persist in like getting good at something. Education won't. You know, there's a million people who like go to university and get degrees and qualifications and end up working at Starbucks. They've got the education there, but they actually don't work towards the goals. They just work towards having an education. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. You know, that's just what all you need to be and need to do to get to where you need to be is just be persistent in what you're doing. And if you keep doing it, you'll be amazed at where you're going to get in your life. It's phenomenal. You know, let competition be a thing of the past. Achieve your goals and help others along the way. There are more than enough people in this world who will buy from you. However, if you help other people, they'll also create a lasting and happy relationships. You know, eliminate the competition in your life because everyone's got you got your own image to work for now. You're not competing with anyone else, just yourself. You know where you want to be. So if you help other people along the way, they're one potentially becoming clients in the future. You're making them happier. You're helping them get to their goals, and it stops being a race of trying to beat people and stop getting somewhere because everyone's goals are different. So you stop trying to compete with people, and that's a relaxing, calm thing, which is when you're able to start helping people as well, which is really fantastic. And the next chapter as well, which is a really powerful one, and it's Let Go and Let God. And Bob Proctor actually was on the edge of coming off as being religious with this one, but it's more the case of just letting go. You know, letting go and just knowing the things that you're doing are going to work, and stop worrying about them. I used to worry so much about, you know, becoming the person I wanted to be. I was never there. But once I thought to myself, right, okay, I know what I'm doing is good. I'm going to get there eventually anyway. And once you relax, you start being better and start getting these things. And there's some really, really good things in this next chapter. And I'm really, really excited to actually get going. And from there, we move into a lot of the depth. These initial chapters, I was saying earlier on, MJ, are really essential as the foundations. And a lot of people like yourself do use a lot of these principles. And, you know, it's great that you do use them, and it's fantastic. And what I am actually doing a lot of the time in these presentations is just opening you up to these ideas more and having more of an open mind, because some of the later chapters, it goes quite a lot of depth into like the law of vibration and the frequency, and you know, all the different like reciprocation and stuff, and all the different laws that they use within this Born Rich program. And it is almost, if you listen to it initially without having all these brief, you know, these initial chapters, it'd almost be a little bit complex and a little bit too much to understand and a bit out there. But these initial chapters are setting you up for the deeper stuff and for the stuff that, once you actually take into account, are really going to make a huge change. So if this comes across as anything towards, you know, it's almost an obvious thing what you should be using. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I know I should be doing this, I know I should be doing this. And it's just setting yourself up for these later chapters which are really going to blow you away, and about the depth. And you'll be starting to think like people, like the 2% of people who do think, and they're really going places in your life. So how did you find this one, MJ, tonight?
I think, the whole thing. Yeah, good really. I'm amazed at how much I'm practicing, and sometimes I already do things like that you've been teaching. I didn't even realise I've been doing it. So.
Which is a really good thing. That's like the unconscious competence coming in.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even need to think about it anymore. You just go ahead and start doing these things, which is cool.
That's it, yeah. I mean, I used to go jogging nearly every day, and then I got ill, so I stopped. And then I just got lazy, really.
Yeah.
But recently, I've been jogging every morning, been trying to, you know, getting back into the habit. I just, even if I can't be bothered, I force myself to go until I just do it. Like you said, get up and just go out jogging without thinking about it, or not having the mental strength. Oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, it's that inner battle between ourselves. It's cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that's cool. So I'm really excited to move forward with this, and I'm starting to get more and more excited every chapter, because some of the later ones are really essential, and the stuff that, if you start using the stuff in the later chapters, it's like, oh my god, you know, this is literally one. It's so simple once you understand it, and it's going to really just help you get to where you need to be, you know, and to become the top performer a lot quicker with it as well. And you already have come, you know, so far with this business as well, and how you're emulating other people and getting yourself set up for this. You know, it's cool. You know, I mean, I'm not going to take any credit away from you, but it's good to know that actually these sort of ideas that you've used before are really helping you get you where you need to be, MJ.
Yeah.
You know, and it is cool. It is cool to see the people actually working towards these things. And as I say, it's going to be cool. I'll release the chapters after the call and the recording as well, for all you guys who are listening on. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting you guys the information and letting you let go and let God. All right, MJ.
Okay then. Thank you very much.
No problem. Have a brilliant night.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.